in one. All right, music fans, you've been waiting for this for a very long time. And I kept telling people it was going to happen. And here it is. We've got a guy that you might know. He plays in this rock band, Journey. You might know Journey. I've been following him since I was, 14 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the one and only Deen Castronovo right there.
Hey, y'all. How you doing? How you doing, David? Good to see you. Finally see you and not actually just speak to you. It's nice to actually see your face. So
it's crazy how you pointing.
Pointing for people like you and me.
That's it. That's it. So I guess you were up kind of late last night, and you carved out a little time in your schedule for little old me, which I really appreciate. By the way, man.
Of course, it's a day off today, so yeah, we played in San Diego last night and flew back from San Diego back to LA, where we're hubbing. We're just kind of hitting places and flying to the different places. It's a lot easier. So yeah, I got in about 2 a.m. last night, 1 or 2, and took me a little while to wind down and have my Red Bull before I went to sleep. Literally, I do that. And, and I was out around 3 o'clock. And woke up, showered, shampooed, shined, and I'm ready to go.
Wow, man. So how's the tour going so far? Are you enjoying yourself out there?
Oh, bro, this is a blast. The band's having a blast. The chemistry's great. I mean, last night was a sellout. I mean, we're doing really, really well, man. I mean, Journey's always been huge, and they always do really, really well. They do great business, but aside from that, I think just the chemistry and all of us are having a great time. You can see it on stage, man. It's fun. Arnell's singing, man. He's singing better than ever, and that's no lie. We had to change our front of house guy. Arnell was having a hard time hearing. He's been fighting this for years. Right. And we finally figured out, I mean, after years and years, that the sound man, our front of house guy, has been just pushing the mixes, that Arnell was turning up his in-ears and turning them up, and his ears would close up, and he was having a hard time. He was struggling to hear himself. Oh. Now that we got this new sound man who used to work with Shawn Mendes. So, this guy really has stuff dialed in. Young guy. Arnell, man, it was just like a flip of the switch. I cannot, all of us are just like, oh my gosh. I mean, he hasn't lost it. And we were all concerned, like, man, maybe he's just having a hard time. Maybe it's just a hard catalog. That's hard to do every night, and help him out the best we could. But this changed everything, bro. It's night and day.
That's kind of like breaking news right here. So it was in the mix, right? It's just, he wasn't hearing.
99% of it was what he was hearing and what he couldn't hear. And oh my gosh, man, it's like once we figure that out, this is our 5th show in with this new sound man. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God, he's back. He sounds great. He sounds like he did in 2008. It's like, wow, what an amazing event to have that happen and finally figure that out after all these years. That was the issue. And he goes, man, I've been fighting this for 10 or 12 years now, trying to be able to hear.
Whoa.
Unbelievable, man. It took one guy to just bring everything down and dial it in better, and he's soaring now. He's soaring again. It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's weird because, I said one time, I saw him do a couple of songs with Chicago a long time ago, and he just nailed it. Like and you could tell the guys in the band were like, we didn't expect it to be that good. We gave him the big introduction, and he'd do his thing. And everybody has seen those videos back in the Philippines where he's doing like Bon Jovi, and he's doing Guns N' Roses, and he's doing everything, and he's killing it. I could see if I'm Neil Sean, right? And I'm on the internet looking at this guy going, holy crap, he could kind of do anything. So he's hired, right? I mean, because we're not going to find anybody who can do that.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. Obviously I love the man, but to know that you can see it in his demeanor on stage now. He's just smiling because he's like, it's gotta be, dude. That's why I never want that gig ever. I would never want to be a frontman or lead singer because no, it's so much pressure. And to have that kind of pressure and knowing like, I don't know what's going on here. And for him to barrel through that and plow through and finally get the relief, that weight lifted off has got to be, oh my God. I mean, he is like, we're goofing off on stage. He's laughing. It's like, oh my God, my brother's back. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. And here we are breaking the news right here. Thanks for letting me know that. Seriously,
what could you get for a front of house guy? That's the moral of the story.
It's in the mix. Well, hey, I'm going to have next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm going to have the opportunity to see this in person. So you're coming to Tampa and Orlando.
I got you the best seats I could, David. I got you way up back.
Look, I know
you can really hear what's going on.
Dude, whatever it is. Hey, I was when I was 16 years old, I saw Journey on the Escape tour. All right. Which sorry, I love you and I love Arnell, but there's not much else and you would admit this. You would sit there and go,
yep. David, I was on those two. I mean, I saw those tours. I was like 7th row for, Journey on Escape and Frontiers, man.
Yeah. But and then, I saw them a few years. I saw you guys. You weren't in the band, unfortunately, but I think it was 2017. I saw the same place I'm going, which it'll be interesting. You guys, brand new rhythm section, right? You and Todd. How's Todd doing?
Man, the three amigos. It's like me, Todd, and Neil. Todd, Neil, and I, however you want to put it. Yeah, man. I mean,
this goes hardline, right? You guys were all in hardline together?
First, we were in hardline. Well, see, the major story is I knew Todd back when I met him when I was 14. Wow. And he was in a band called Sequel, which was the biggest act in Portland, actually Portland, Salem, Eugene, and the whole wherever the music scene was in Oregon. They were the band. They opened for all the big acts that came through town. Like if it was Pat Benatar, Sequel opened up. When it was Journey, Sammy Hagar, Loverboy, Sequel opened up. Wow. So it was I finally got to meet him, and the cool thing was they used to sneak me, the owners of the club would sneak me in through the kitchen, right? And I would watch the set that they would do and then be hustled back into the kitchen. So I've known Todd for eons, man. Wow. He and I back way. So when Hardline happened, it was like they were looking for a bass player, and Burnett's bassist, didn't want to do it anymore. So it was like, what about Todd Jensen? And it was perfect. He came in, he nailed the stuff. He had the look. It was everything. And Neil and I, and we got tight. So when Hardline finally went south,
right,
we moved over. He and I and Todd moved over to Neil and I and Todd moved over to Paul Rogers.
Yeah, wow,
pretty cool, bro.
Dude,
you go back a ways.
You were telling me, I don't know if I read it or you told me that you were like, I don't know how old you were, but you were like opening up for Blue Oyster Cult. Is that right?
Yes, I was 16, bro. I was the cool thing again, the manager for Sequel had a company, a promotion. He was a promoter. What was it? His name was Dave Lycan, and Double T Productions.
All right.
And they would bring opening acts to open up for the big boys. Well, we got offered to do, I think it was 2 or 3 shows. It was 3 opening for Blue Oyster Cult and Foghat on the Fire of Unknown Origin tour with Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh man.
I got to at 16, I was, we did Portland, we did Albuquerque, and we did Phoenix. We did those 3 shows, and unbelievable for a little kid, man. And the band was called The Enemy, and it was a power trio. Like we had our own original stuff, but we sounded like Rush. It was bad. Yeah. And I was lead singing and playing drums, and so it was awesome, man. Just awesome.
Any tapes of that? Anything out there on the internet?
I think I don't know if there's out there on the internet, dude. That would be extreme. If you could find that, please call me, because I don't care. I don't think there's anything. I mean, I think we had some cassette, but I don't know where that went. That disappeared. But oh my gosh, dude.
It's like my radio demo tapes. They're all gone. So
you don't know where they have.
I got you. So there's one cool thing about you that the other guys in Journey, didn't get to experience. 1989. Well, technically you, Neil, and John, you were in this band called Bad English.
We were bad.
And I remember that summer, and I'm thinking this super group, they got John Waite singing, and bam, that song, When I See You Smile, goes all the way to #1. You're playing drums on that track. How is that? How's that in a resume, man? You must just like...
it was amazing, dude. It was my very first major gig. I'd played with, Tony McAlpine, who was a monster guitarist.
He is,
doing a lot of stuff with Shrapnel Records at the time. And I met Neil at a rehearsal for Tony McAlpine. and we hit it off, and we played together. And he said he wouldn't go down and work with those guys unless he could bring this drummer he found, and he did. Wow. He found me, and so went down there and did it. Out of, I don't know, there was like 35 or 36 guys that had auditioned, and they were kind of just. I was the last guy to come in, yeah, and that was it. Once I got in, it was, after Neil brought me down, that was it. That was the band. Boom. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, and that must have been something at that age, right? You're in this band, and you're thinking to yourself, and you had follow-up singles, but that thing, was that a Diane Warren song?
Yeah, dude, that song was number 1 2 weeks straight. It would have been number 3 3 weeks straight. It would have been 3 weeks straight. But Milli Vanilli knocked it off with Blame It on the Rain, and they took their Grammy away. So I was thinking, well, why don't they take the number 1 position away from it and put us up for 3 weeks? I mean, that's fair, right? But yeah, that didn't happen.
That's interesting.
I remember when I got the gold record, my very first gold record ever. It was on Halloween,
right?
1989. In where were we? We were in LA here. We were in LA, and we did a big dinner, saying, well, When I See You Smile will be number 1 this week. I'm like, what the heck? So, I remember calling my dad from payphone, they didn't have sales then. So a payphone, just, of course, crying and going, my God, Ma, it happened. I can't believe it. The dream came true. It's pretty cool.
And you still got great hair, but you had the 80s. That thing was, the mop, and it was just all over.
And it was the poodle. I was a poodle, man. You kidding? It was awesome.
So you're talking about Neil Schon, right? Hey, I got to have this drummer, right? And he picks you. And it seems that Neil really wanted you back again this time around, which I think is an awesome testimony, I guess, to your friendship and loyalty and all those good traits that you look for in other human beings in this industry, which can be really sucky and cutthroat, and you can get thrown to the curb. But you were, we all know, we're not going to go back to all that took place. I read enough stupid articles, and I want to grab my BB gun. We'll say that. I won't say anything else.
Well, you're looking at this. It's been 7 years. I've moved on. I'm doing well. We don't got to talk about that anymore.
Right.
I'm sure somebody out there, isn't it the Will and Jada right now? Let them get hammered.
Hey, maybe you need to go slap somebody. No, I'm just kidding.
How about if I slap myself?
Yeah, there you go. See, we knew this was going to be a low energy interview. I was a little concerned about that, but things seem to be going all right.
I'll calm down here as soon as I finish this, dude.
Dude, I do occasionally have one of those, but not. I should have. I told you before, I had Ted Nugent on, and this is going to be probably crazier than that. And so far, it is.
This is the kind you get, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the original flavor, but dragon fruit is the flavor that they make. I'm telling you, right there.
Hey, if that's what does it, that's cool. That's all I'm going to tell you. But when you found out you're back in, what was that? What was that like?
Well, it was bittersweet, bro. I gotta admit, my mother had passed away on the 19th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
11:59, July 19th of last year.
Oh man,
sorry. So I was pretty much up all night. The family were all in tears, and I came home, and I was just kind of in and out of sleep, and I get a text probably around 9:30 in the morning. 9:30, yeah, about 9:30. Well, yeah, it was sometimes 6 to 9, something like that. His time, it was probably around 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And he said, Dino, we're having issues with some of the drum, an artist, he's working on picking these things up, but can you come in and help him, guide him through these songs? We only got like 10 days to get ready for Lollapalooza.
Right.
And it was only going to be for 2 shows, David. I was supposed to come in and work with Narda and get him honed in on the stuff and do the 2 shows and go home.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was, I just asked Neil, I said, bro, can you just give me a day? Mama passed away last night. And of course, like, oh, bro, I'm so sorry, take your time. But time is of the essence here. And if you can do it, let me know. And I said, of course I'll do it, bro. I just need to breathe for a second. So I flew out, and I remember walking in to the rehearsal studio where they were in Chicago, and all of us were, tearing up. It was
That's
pretty
cool.
pretty heavy, with everything that was going on. It was just like I had no time to grieve for Mama, and that it all just kind of came right in. I have a feeling that my mom had something to do with that. You know what I mean?
Oh man, dude, I don't have any Kleenex in here, brother. Cut it out. I mean, I get choked up.
My dream was to come back home. I mean, I never felt like I was in the right place with other bands after I had.
I know. Yeah.
I never felt like I fit in. It wasn't like, man, this is not me, or I was so close to those guys. I mean, and still are. I've been for so many years.
Yeah.
I just never felt like it was that was where I belonged or where I should be. And then this happened, and
wow.
My mom and Jesus Christ had something to do with that.
That's
maybe a meeting, a little.
I can't top that story. I can't top that story, brother. Wow. So you're back, and the band has a new record on the way. It's called Freedom of All Things, a novel idea.
Thank God for freedom.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything about that album, or are we mum's the word?
I'll tell you what I know. Okay. I know that Narda and Neil and John produced the record.
Okay.
Randy Jackson's playing bass. Narda's playing drums on it.
Okay.
I don't know how many songs. I think there's 14 songs on it. I'm not quite sure.
Wow.
And I listened. I got it probably a month ago,
I
was able to listen through to it. And of course, everybody said, "Oh, it's this and this." It's like, I love the thing. I mean, it's Journey, definitely, but it's got a fire under it, man, a passion. You can tell the band once was like, let's do something. Let's record. Narda's playing on it is stellar.
Wow.
He's such an amazing drummer. I mean, a lot of people that they just see him, oh yeah, he was in Journey or whatever. His playing is phenomenal. He's a master.
Wasn't he like in Weather Report or one of those groups in the 70s?
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's done, John McLaughlin, but a lot of people don't know that outside of a drummer, he's an amazing producer, man.
Producer.
Harry and
Whitney Houston. Yeah.
Big people.
Yeah.
So you'll love it, David. If I could send it to you, I would, but I cannot. So
you're killing me.
I love it though, dude. We're actually getting ready to shoot a video for the next single.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what the song is. Or anything. You guys will know. Yeah, it's great. It's I love the record. There's some songs.
You're gonna have to kill me, right? You can send it to me, but then you're gonna have to kill me after that.
Here's the hook. I got the hook.
Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I'm just a piano player. Don't shoot me. So question for you. Are you doing any vocals on this thing or no?
I got one song that Neil had me sing on, and I did all the backgrounds and the lead vocal. I mean, I was in Portland. It was on my birthday, and that was a great birthday. I want you to do this song. I want you to try and sing it, man. So we did it Zoom like this. There was a iPad here so I could see him, and then he could see me, and then the studio, and I was in my vocal booth, and he guided me through every vocal that he heard in his head. He goes, I hear this, man, sing this. So I stacked all the background vocals. That's all me stacking them with his ideas. Like, no, do this and go up here. And Neil knows his crap. He's a bad boy. So we got it done, dude. And it was like, I didn't even know I could sing like that. And he pulled a lot of stuff out of me. And I was so happy that I got to be on it. And,
Did you guys get a record deal on this, or what happened with that? Or can you say?
Yeah, we got signed to BMG. We're on BMG now, and great record label, obviously.
Good.
Big. So,
that's real distribution. Beats like being on Sanctuary, huh?
Oh, dude. Yeah, we're fortunate, man. We were really fortunate then. And Neil actually worked the deal. He he's managing this thing right now with John. He and John are managing the band.
Nice.
And it's going great. I mean, Neil's got a good eye or a good sense of business. John is the king of business. He knows that stuff. So Neil and him together, it's unstoppable.
So you guys have a lot. You guys have a lot more control over what you're putting out and where you're going to go. That New Year's thing that you missed, unfortunately, was kind of sad. You missed it, but his head just. I'm sorry, dude.
No, dude, it was funny. I sat in the hotel room and I was just like, really? Over a damned cold because I had no symptoms.
All right. We don't want to upset the CDC. All right.
No, it was like that. I had to sit in New York for.
I know.
It was supposed to be for 10 days. I only lasted 7. I'm like, I'm sneaking out of here.
We were thinking, because I knew this already, but I was thinking of maybe trying to send someone in to get you, but I just didn't know any, paramilitary or something that could swoop in.
What Navy SEAL do we know that can get me out? We finally, literally, we paid the bill. I got a flight and I went home, but I wasn't sick. I didn't feel sick. There was nothing, and I'm sad, that I had to be there, but I did what I did. I lasted 7 days or 8 days, I think it was. And finally I said, man, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Yeah. So. Get the heck out of there. Right. So, but, that was just another example though. What I was trying to get at was that was a big gig for Journey on New Year's Eve. You had like the CNN story where they come out drunk and they're talking about, I know Neil hated that, but everybody was like, it's still publicity. You know what I mean? Like, well, what are they talking about? And
that guy had a few too many bong hits, I think. I don't know what he was on or what he was drinking, but whatever it was, he did the trick.
He did think that Steve Perry might have still been in the group. So I think that was a little problem with that. It's only been 24 years now, something like that. So
they've been a little busy drinking.
But all of that's good marketing, good promotions. You got Lollapalooza, you mentioned, you got New Year's Eve, you got some really high profile gigs. You're playing big arenas. You got Toto. Hey, tell me what's it like with Toto, man? Steve, you got Luke. You got to hang out with Luke all weekend.
David, it's to listen to them every night. It's like a record. They are flawless. Great band, dude. Great people. Luke is fun, man. I love him. I've known him for, since Bad English days.
Wow.
And sweetheart of a guy in the band. They're all great people, but man, they sound amazing.
Yeah. They've got good. Luke's always had great musical instincts. I heard David was there the other night, played with them.
I don't know. I didn't see that. I was, we were trying to get ready and get all this stuff together. I'm sure that a lot of those guys were there. But I didn't get to see them. But the last night was kind of like we flew in, we were getting our stuff together, and then go. So I missed that.
Yeah, well, it's all over the place. It's pretty. Anytime anyone shows up who's not supposed to be there, I'm still hoping that Neil and Luke will get out on stage, and just go and do what they do. You know what I mean?
I think it will, dude. I think it'll happen. There's obviously, that's what everybody's waiting for is a Luke and Neil, jam session. And I'm sure it will happen before the end of the tour.
Maybe in Tampa. Tampa would be a good time, I think, for those guys to team up, You
right, like I said, way in the back so you can make sure you hear everything.
So anyone's going to go to the show, they're going to be looking for me. I'm going to be way in the back.
All by yourself with, a little, like a hobo snack sack with all your food and snacks and your juice box.
Hey, I got my $14 beer. I was complaining. That's a $14 beer. The last time I went there, that's where I got that number from. Me and my wife were like, you want to get a beer? I come back. She's like, so what's wrong? I'm like, I just spent $30 on 2 beers.
Somebody's got to make a living.
Hey, helping the people who working hard to keep.
You're helping EEG right there, man. They love that.
Yeah. That's more. So you got the tour. Any other because you're a side project guy. You're always doing something. Any other things we could talk about here? Is that all like you can't talk about?
I just finished. Before we left the tour, literally, after my quarantine, I came home and I went right into the studio to record the drum tracks. They had all of the songs written. There's like 22 songs ready to go for Revolution Saints. That I think Joel and Alessandro and Jeff. I'm not sure. Jeff Pilson. They've all came together and recorded the stuff, and I did my drum tracks. So I finished one of the records already. The other one I got to finish focus on when I get home. But there's 2 Revolution Saints records in the can, ready to go pretty much.
Wow. Here's one of them. See, I'm not only a fan, but I actually buy some of this stuff. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's those 2 records will be done. I'm not sure when. I think they're talking about maybe September, October release for one of them. And then next year, it'll already be in the can. So we'll do the second one. But yeah, man, we worked hard, got that stuff done. I did my drum tracks in like 3 or 4 days, I think it was, and then did the vocals and got finished. And then 2 days later, I was out here on the road. So busy.
Yeah, you are one of the, seriously, and I don't say this to you because I had a Toto on this show a long time ago, and he's a workaholic, and you guys did an album last year too, didn't you? Like do a duets thing?
Yeah, Jeff asked me to do a song that we had done together with Soul Circus.
Yeah.
Song called Coming Home, and I was like, "Oh, dude, do you want me to play drums?" He goes, "No, drums are done. All you got to do is sing, and this is what I would like you to do." And he guided me through that, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
great. Only took like a day of for vocals, and then I flew down. Jeff flew me down to Los Angeles to shoot the video.
Yeah,
so came out great. Another one in the pocket, but I don't think I work as hard as Mike Portnoy. That guy, he works his tail off. And you can tell, man. I mean, the guy's an amazing drummer. My gosh,
Hey,
so you can tell.
Speaking of drummers, all right, I was going to ask this question. You just hit the button there. Who's your biggest influence as a drummer?
Gosh, man. I mean, like I said, there's 4 that are really influential. You got Peter Criss, who got me wanting to be a drummer, and the makeup and the Spanish stuff. And so I wanted to be a drummer, and I could play his parts, as a young beginner drummer. That stuff's the best stuff to learn. I mean, he's a great player.
Yeah.
And then I saw Rush, and Neil Peart, may he rest in peace. And boom, man, I became a prog drummer. I wanted to be a progressive drummer like Neil Peart.
Right.
And then again, I listened to Captured, and I was like, because I knew all the Journey stuff before that, but I never heard Smith just open up and tear it up. Yeah. And the Captured drum solo on there, it's just like, who is that guy? It's like nagging stuff from him, and then Terry Bozzio, of course, is just.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
But then there was a lot of metal drummers that I was really into. I mean, I loved. I grew up playing thrash and heavy stuff. So Dave Lombardo from Slayer, Lars Ulrich. Back in the day when Ride the Lightning came out and Kill 'Em All and stuff. Yeah, man, his drumming on that is phenomenal. For sure, drummer is like, wow, those are the guys you wanted to be like, and that kind of direction is where I went for the first, 3 or 4 years before all the big stuff happened,
Yeah. Well, man, you've been part of a lot of different projects over the years. You mentioned Paul Rogers for a while. That must have been a trip. And the Revolution Saints, and I have another album back here, Restless Spirits. You're on that. And what is it? The Geo Novo project there with Johnny G.
See, that's what I wanted to call it. I thought that would have been really cool. And they just let's make it Geo Castronovo. But Geo Novo sounds cool. It sounds like a car. A car made by Chevy, the Geo Novo.
It's Geo Metro, Geo Nova. Well, that Nova, right? Nova means no go, I think, in Spanish. So they probably would have said no to that.
But I try to do as much as I can, but I try to do stuff that's obviously not just based on dough. I gotta like it. I gotta love this stuff. It's gotta be in my wheelhouse where I don't feel comfortable. I mean, I love playing with the Dead Daisies. I love the band members. I mean, all 4 of those guys. John Corabi's still a very close friend of mine. I love Doug and Marco, and I love all those guys. But it was never. I didn't grow up with the that 70s like Deep Purple and Zeppelin and stuff. I mean, I knew them and they were great bands, but I don't know. I wasn't in that direction. I was never that kind of player, like just meat and potatoes and do that. And my experience musically was bands like Brand X, and Genesis, and Rush, and stuff like that. That's what I kind of went for. Journey. That's where I went. Yeah. So like I love the Daisies and I love playing it, but I'm just not that kind of player, and I love doing it. But again, Journey's my home, man. I mean, it always was my home in my heart. And, for this to happen again, dude, come on. I mean, it's not coincidence, and it's not, well, you're good and you're right for that. Okay. That's a part, but man, There's a
Hey,
spiritual, I give glory to God for this, man. And haters
cool.
hate whatever, but thank God for Jesus Christ, because I wouldn't be alive, and this wouldn't have been happening. To have that come full circle,
Background.
It's man. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great story. I wish somebody would tell it the right way. That's why I'm here. All right. Hey. Okay. So there you go. Here's a question for you. You think there's a little bit too much? Now, this is gonna, I don't know, because it's good on one hand, it's bad on the other hand. A lot of fans these days are going to see you to hear one song. All right. And as much as I love the song and I've complained, hey, it's a great song, but this is an amazing catalog. This is an amazing, and for somebody, I guess if you're a radio DJ and used to play, I used to play Mother Father on the radio. That's a song that you get to sing. I used to play that. I used to play it. All right. Because it was
daring,
Escape. Yeah. I mean, that thing, the title track to Escape is epic. It's an epic force of nature with that ding, 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 that thing at the beginning. It's the wall.
You hear
and
that,
then,
dude? I know when I first heard that, actually, that's my favorite song off that record. That's my favorite. Escape is like, oh my gosh, listen to that. It's killer.
But when you guys play that song, something happens. The people just they melt down. It's like the place, the lighters come out, the people are singing in unison. Yeah. You can't hear the band sometimes. Like maybe you know how the Beatles used to feel, right? Can't hear ourselves playing. But how is that on stage when that's happening? What's that feel like?
Oh, dude. I mean, the best part is when it starts. And the crowd goes ballistic, and you look over at Jonathan and Neil, and they got that smile like, wow. And it's all of us like that. To have one song like that, that John, Neil, and Perry wrote together, to have that one tune just basically take over the world. I mean, there isn't one person. They may not know Journey. Yeah. But you say, well, I play drums in Journey, and they look at you like, what Journey? I say, don't stop. Oh, I love that song. Everyone knows that song. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Everybody knows that song. They may not know it's Foreigner or it's Kansas. No, it's Journey. But when they hear that song, dude, they know that song. Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, dude. It's amazing. Yeah. Well, to be a part of it, come on. I get to play that every night. I get to hear that reaction, feel that energy and that love. And oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. True. I mean, I have to say, overall, you have this. It's going to make money for everybody for the next 1,000 years, right? And including Steve Perry and whoever is inheriting Steve's stuff, But and deservedly so, because it's an amazing piece of music. That bass line in the song too is epic. Different sound, almost had a progressive thing. Neil supposedly had something to do with that arrangement. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe that I don't know. All I know is Ross played on it, and that's all I know. I never dug in and said, well, really, who wrote that part or whatever. I just love the tune. Yeah, and you and I, dude, we're fans. That's right. I was a fan before I joined this band. Obviously, I mean, you kidding? Bought records, went to every show, as many as I could. It was. That was life. That was life at that age. That's what you did, and you got to see Journey. You're younger than me, right? I don't know. I think we're almost the same age, believe it or not. I'm coming up on 58, man. All right. So we're exactly the same. I hate to tell you. We grew up with the same stuff. So there you go, man. I mean, that's kind of like the soundtrack. Well, you said Fire of Unknown Origin. I'm like, what the hell? That's just, dude. I was listening to their hit was. The hit back then was Joan Crawford Has Risen from the Grave. Remember that song? Single. Joan Crawford, obviously Burden for You. What's that? Something I can't. Psychic, Veteran of the Psychic Wars. You remember that? The funny thing is I knew Blue Oyster Cult, and because it said Blue Oyster Cult, my mother, being a Catholic, would not allow me to have any of those records in the house, any of that stuff. So I wasn't a big fan of Blue Oyster Cult. Of course, Godzilla. Everybody loved Godzilla. Right. But when we did the tour, it was just like I finally got into what they were doing, and it was like, wow, what a great band, man! You should have just told your mother. You should have just told your mother, "Don't fear the Reaper," and she would have gone. No kidding.
Sorry, a little comedy here, very, very little. All right. All right. So listen, we're gonna wrap this up because I know you gotta get a little bit more rest because it looks as though you're really worn out by the looks of this interview. Like
this is a day off, and I love it. I'm just sitting here at the hotel, just kicking back and relaxing. And I did laundry yesterday. Even we went to the show, and they got washer and dryers there. I'm like, well, we got 4 hours to kill before showtime. Boom, let's go in. Let's get my laundry done. So
wow. So we see you. We'll see you walking. If I'm at that hotel, Dean's walking down the hallway with his laundry. Right.
Damn right. So here, check it out. Look.
Oh man. Look at this. So unreal. We can't disclose your location just for security purposes. And I hear you're kind of like, you got to wait until the show and all that stuff. So, we got to keep you in good health and good spirits. Obviously, it's all the above here, man. Yeah. This has been an interview that I've waited for about 5 years. I just want to tell you.
Too. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, you and I, and to finally get some time to just take a breath and talk to you like this. It's nice, man. And I wish I could see you, but this whole protocol, the COVID thing we signed with AEG and the band's touring insurance company, they're like, nope, you can't see it. There's no backstage. Nobody can come back. It's like even my family at home in Oregon. Wow. We did the Portland show and I couldn't get anybody to come back. Nobody was allowed. So, I mean, but that's what the Stones did. And the Stones were successful doing their tour. And we figured, there's a lot of money riding on the line here. And there's a lot of families, of the crew and band that need they need us to be healthy. Yeah. Or they lose their job, their livelihood's gone. So it's a big team of 90 people just making sure, man, we do the tests every show day. I mean, there's an antigen test every morning we send. So we got to be, we're on top of it. And I think we've had 3 COVID cases from crews since we started February 18th. So we've done extremely well.
All right, man. Well, here's hoping that it goes well for the rest of the tour. How many dates you got left? You got quite a few, right?
Our last show is the 17th in, I think Quebec, Canada. Okay. Quebec. I'm not sure how they pronounce
Quebec.
it. Yeah. And then we come home and then we've got some sporadic dates throughout the year. That'll be, listed pretty soon. A lot of cool, things like maybe Puerto Rico, Hawaii, possibly a Canadian tour, a full Canadian tour. So we got a lot of stuff on the table.
Do you know release date of that album yet or no?
I was told it was April or May, but I'm the drummer in the band. I just, I don't know anything until they tell me.
I'm just being a little bit of a journalist here. That's it. I'm trying to help promote.
I would tell you. You'd be the first to know, man. Because we want the mass.
But I'm trying to help sell you some records too, because if people know what's coming out, they'll get ready on your market set.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah, that's man. You're almost as evasive as I can be sometimes. But anyway, brother, I appreciate that. I appreciate coming on here. This is great, and I knew it would be great, and the people are going to love watching it. And you stay safe out there. Take care of yourself, all right?
Well, brother, God bless you. I love you. Give your wife my best, and I will see you in Tampa. I got my binoculars out, so I'll be making sure. Night vision goggles.
I told you. Throw me a stick. Throw me a stick.
Dude, I don't think I got the arm of Tom Brady. I don't know if I can throw it that far back.